Hey guys, uh, sorry for not making this video and finishing it up, but back out in the shed today, and I'm gonna work on this thing pretty consistent today and try to get it done. The forge that we've been working on, and I bought some other stuff that I needed. This is gonna be the one that I told you that was gonna go down through the center for the pipe to go in, which I'm going to cut this in half, and this is going to become two that I'm going to need to go down through the block and into the actual forge. I'm thinking it'll work with the if I split it in half, because it's if we measure it out, it's almost 4 inches. So it's going to give me 2 inches on each side, and I can. And remember when I told you I was going to put the this in there, which I changed my mind on that. I'm not going to use that at all. I'm going to use the actual. Show you once I get this off here. I welded these on here the other day, and I didn't video that. I apologize for that, but I'm going to take and when I mark this on there. This is going to go through here like this, which is going to be in here, over half of that, if you can see that, and half through the fire brick. I decided to do it that way because it was just going to be too much to weld another piece in there. I didn't want this thing to be that entirely heavy like that. But that's the plan, and I want to try to get that done today, if all possible. So we're going to work on that today, and we're going to work on getting our other pieces on the bottom frame, as I show you the long arms that I welded on there, the flat pieces. We're going to get those on there today, and pretty much be done with this forge, other than the blowers. So that's the plan for today, Lord willing. And most of all, as always, I want to thank my God for this day. I thank Him for bringing me through another night. I thank Him for mercy and grace today. And we had a great service yesterday at church, and wish everyone could have been there. If you can't be at my church, I wish you would. I hope and pray that you can find a church that's close to your house that you can go to and see what this is about. Find Jesus today, because He is all in all, and that's all I can say about that. And if you know, like I've said always, if you need help with this, I'll leave my email address on the bottom, down where the description is, and you can send me an email and we can just talk if that's what you need. I'm willing to do that today, because that's what God wants me to do today. He wants me to tell people about Jesus. So I thank Him today for that. With that being said, let's get into this thing, and let's start working on this thing and get it welded up and get it looking like a forge. I want to get it done. I'm excited about getting it done, and it seems like every time I try to work on it, something comes up. But Lord willing, we're going to work on this thing pretty consistent today, and we're going to get a lot of it done. So you guys just bear with me. I'm going to turn the camera off, and then I'll reposition the camera so you can see everything. I actually got a tripod for my phone, so I can move it around now a little better and then get some better footage for you. So let's turn the camera off, and I'll reposition my camera so I can get you in on the view so you can see what I'm doing. Alright guys, I hope you can see and hear me. We're going to go ahead and we're going to mark this off, and I'm going to take it off here. We're going to mark this piece off onto the metal here, and I know this camera's kind of small and it won't zoom in for me, but we're going to mark this off, and we're going to cut this out of the metal first, and then we'll cut it out of the block so I can get, because I can't get down on the block to get a good measurement on there. So let's find our center first of all. Let's go ahead and find it. Let's go ahead and find our center on this, and then we'll mark it from there. So we have 11 3/4. So I'm going to call center 5 7/8. We got the center marked. Let's go ahead and mark that out. Get a good straight line on that. It don't have to be precise. It's going to be close enough. So what I want to do is I want to try to center this pipe right in the middle of that line. If you guys can hear me and see me. I'm going to center the pipe right in the middle of the line, just by eyeballing it. I'm not going to make any precise measurements or anything like that. So we're just going to center that, and we're going to take our pencil inside the pipe and mark that off. As long as we got it close enough to where we can see it, that's all we need. So I got it marked about as good as I can get it. So I'm going to take this off the actual forge. It does fit a little tight, which is good. And I'm going to show you what I did. If you can see that, right in this area here where I marked the circle around, we're going to cut that out, and then we're going to measure, put the pipe back on there, and get an actual circle on the block. So I have to cut that block also, and I'll show you how to do that once I get to that point. But we're going to take our grinder and grind this out as best as we can, because it is around the area. So we're going to take and grind that out, which what we'll do is make consecutive lines through here with the grinder, and then get them thin enough, and then we can move that grinding wheel around to get that round. I'm not going to video that part, but we're going to turn the camera off, and then we'll get back with you. Alright guys, I ground some of it down. I don't have to grind more of it off. So the mistake I made, and I'll be more than gladly to admit it, is I marked the inside of the pipe instead of the outside of the pipe. So we should have marked the outside of the pipe, and then we would have been straight. So got to go back and do some recutting. We're going to cut that, and then I'll get right back with you. Alright guys, as you can see, I got it cut out for the pipe to fit in there, and then we'll cut this pipe, and then we'll weld the piece in here once we cut it into the block. We don't want to weld that yet, because I want to mark it off on the blocks to get it to go in right. So we're going to mount this piece back onto the actual forge. Get them straight here, and then we'll mark it off and get it cut out on the actual block itself. We're going to mark it, one half of it anyways, and we can take the pipe and put it up on there and mark the other half. So we're going to take this off, back off. There'll be a lot of dismantling and putting it back together, but it's got to be done. So line the blocks back up. As you can see, we're going to line these blocks back up, and then we're going to take this pipe and mark off on it. Mark around the actual pipe so we can cut the block. And we can just do that with our grinder also on the block. So that's what our next step is. So we're going to mark that off. And I'll probably mount the block in the vise so I can get to it a little better. And then we can, maybe not, maybe I'll just stand it up on the ground. But let's mark this off and then we'll get it cut. This is what we're looking at. And then we're going to cut this with the grinder. It should cut pretty simple. I seen it done online on a YouTube channel. I don't remember the YouTube channel, but I seen it on there, and hopefully we can get this cut off. So let's give it a whirl to go. And we can just, I'm going to probably cut the camera off and then I'll get back with you. Alright guys, this thing's been a task, man. It's been trying to get this thing cut open, but I think I got it pretty close. This brick is pretty hard, harder than what I thought it was. So I want to show you what I did. This is where I cut out the brick for the pipe to go down in it. I got to refine it a little bit, but it's pretty close. But I had to make cutting this, make sure you put a respirator on and put all your safety gear on, because this stuff, you don't want to breathe it in. And it's hard. It's very hard to cut unless you got the right tools to cut it. And all I have is my side grinder to cut it. But we're working on it. We're going to get it there. So hang tight and we'll get back with you. Alright guys. This is a job to cut these bricks. I mean, it's been pretty hard. I've ground on this and ground on it. And I still got one more to cut, plus 2 on the up end. So, just bear with me with these and we'll get through it. Looks like it's going to take us a while, but it might take a couple hours to get through some of these bricks. I'm hoping those other bricks that I have are a little softer than these, and because these are hard. These are hard bricks. I mean, I done went through one grinding wheel already, and the other one is getting kind of small. So we'll see what happens, and we'll just keep going at it, keep hammering it out. No pun intended there. We'll just keep hammering it out. So y'all bear with me. I'm gonna cut the camera off.